All right, so what is step 1 again? We'll call it 1B. List possible rational roots. All right, so we're using that new polynomial, so that cubic up there. So we're listing it of 3x cubed minus 4x squared minus 10x minus 4. All right, so what is that little formula that you're going to use? All right, plus or minus p over q. What is p? Factors of constant. What is the constant? Is that 4 there? Over factors of the lead coefficient. What is our new lead coefficient? 3. All right, and what's our degree? 3. All right, so we should find 3 out of this. Okay, so plus or minus factors of 4. 1, 2, 4. Oh, that's a nice small set. Factors of 3. Thankfully, a small set. It should always be a way smaller set than before. Okay, so make your whole list. We'll list them all. All right, you should have used both denominators, so it's a nice, pretty small set at least. All right, so go ahead and start testing. Pause it if you need to. If you want to take a little bit longer to go through it, go ahead and test, and then I'll start listing an amount till we get to the one that you should get to. All right, so we're doing step 2. We're testing with synthetic division. So you should be doing that right now. So you should be testing all of them until you find one that gives you a 0. What did you find out about the ones? Hopefully they both became a no, because those should not work. They didn't work before, so they're not going to work now. All right. What about 1/3 or negative 1/3? Did those work? They shouldn't have. If you get frustrated, take a breath. Just synthetic division. Keep going. How about 2 and negative 2? Did either of those work? Should be a no. All right, and you're going to keep going. How about 2/3 or negative 2/3? You should have gotten a no on a positive 2/3 and hopefully a yes on your negative 2/3. All right, I'll show it to you just in case. So if we use negative 2/3, all right, and this is what we're using here, all right, so we're using that new piece. So we have 3, negative 4, negative 10, negative 4. Bring down our first term, 3. All right, so again, when you multiply with a fraction, you multiply with the numerator, divide by the denominator. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 divided by 3. That's negative 2. I'll take that so we don't get confused. All right, so combine those together, you get negative 6. So what is negative 2 times negative 6? Well, it's 12 over 3, so that is 4. Negative 10 plus 4, you should have gotten negative 6. Which, oh look, we know what that makes. That makes 12 over 3. Right? 12 over 3 is 4. And negative 4 plus 4 should get you a 0. And you rejoice. Yay, I did it. And then you take a breath. Because you just had to go through a lot of them to find that. Alright, so. Step 3. What do we do with that information? You need to rewrite in factored form and this part is incredibly important. You need to look back at what you already had. We already had, okay, so we'll call that previous. What two pieces? X minus 1/2 and 2. So we already had those two pieces. And then what did we just find? We found an x of negative 2/3. What factor does that make? X plus 2/3. What about the synthetic quotient? So we had 3, negative 6, negative 6. That becomes 3x squared minus 6x minus 6. So we need to put all of that together. So we have f of x equals x minus 1/2 times 2 times x plus 2/3 times 3x squared minus 6x minus 6. What is step 4? It's our rhyming question. Step 4. Can I factor some more? The answer is really always yes, but, you know, just a good reminder. We have a quadratic, so that's nice. It's like a question and a statement. Okay, so before we go straight to the quadratic formula, though, do you see a greatest common factor that you can remove out? You should. You should see a 3 that you can reduce or factor out of all those. So we actually have x minus 1/2. Write that in blue to keep it consistent. All right, x minus 1/2 times 2. X plus 2/3 times 3. You should always see that denominator of the fraction is the greatest common factor that you can reduce out next. And this becomes x squared minus 2x minus 2. Can you factor more? We're still in step 4, so you just continue to ask yourself, can you factor some more? We absolutely can. We have a quadratic here. But you can't just do a direct factoring because there's no two numbers that add to negative 2 and multiply to negative 2, so that's a bummer. So you were forced to use the quadratic formula. All right, so use your quadratic formula on that and find your other zeros, and then we'll write our final answer. All right, and quadratics always give you two answers, so you should have gotten a 1 plus root 3 and a 1 minus root 3. And then we're going to double check, okay, I have 4 of them. Should I have 4 of them? Where do I look to know how many I should have? All the way back. Look at all that work we did. Okay, so what was our degree? Our degree was 4, so we should have ended with 4 zeros. Did we? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4. We sure did, and hopefully they are also the 4 correct zeros that you needed to find. Okay, here's an independent. I am not working it out with you. It is purely for your own practice. I will give you your final answers so that as you do it, if you get to those, great. If you didn't get to those, maybe watch part 1 or 2 again and figure it out, or keep doing this one till you figure it out. You should end with 3x values: -2, 3, and 4. So try this using that rational roots theorem and see if you can find those 3 zeros.